You're the chosen one. Someone's world is spiraling, gripped by a paralyzing fear of exposure. They're desperately trying to bury their secrets, resorting to threats and manipulation, doing everything imaginable to keep the lid on their mess. Right now, they're pacing, their hands shaking, obsessively rereading old messages, desperately searching for a way to silence the truth they themselves created. A truth that's now turning against them. But here's the thing. Exposure is coming, and it's happening without you lifting a finger. Your innocence radiates effortlessly, a beacon in the encroaching darkness, while their shadows are dragged kicking and screaming into the unforgiving light. And the worst part for them? Your intuition saw this coming long before the first crack appeared in their carefully constructed facade. Your intuition whispered warnings, a subtle tremor in the force. That sudden shift in energy felt too calculated to be mere coincidence. You sensed conversations happening behind closed doors, hushed tones and furtive glances. You just knew that secret meetings were being held, with you as the central, unwitting topic, O chosen one. And your discernment? It was laser accurate. Meetings did occur. Multiple individuals, fueled by envy and insecurity, gathered specifically to orchestrate your downfall. This wasn't some organic conflict bubbling to the surface. This was calculated warfare, cold and precise, systematic, intentional. Access to your personal information was shared amongst the conspirators, passed around like contraband. Your social media activity was monitored with an almost obsessive intensity. Fake profiles were meticulously crafted for surveillance purposes, lurking in the shadows of your online presence. Your movements became objects of study, each action analyzed for weaknesses. Your routines were learned, dissected, and weaponized. Strategies were debated in hushed tones. How to damage your public image, how to dismantle your reputation piece by agonizing piece, how to ensure isolation became your cold, hard reality. Consider the sheer depth of that coordinated malice, the audacity of it all. Multiple individuals dedicating their precious mental space and finite physical time to systematically destroying someone whose only offense was existing authentically, someone whose crime was daring to be powerful in their own truth, someone whose fault was simply being chosen. Your light exposed uncomfortable truths about their own inner darkness, the inadequacies they desperately tried to conceal. Extinguishing your light, therefore, became their twisted mission, their raison d'etre. The coordination rivaled military precision. Everyone received their assignments, their roles carefully scripted. Everyone contributed to the toxic campaign, feeding the flames of negativity. The irony is almost unbearable. Some wore masks of friendship, their concern for you seeming genuine on the surface. Care laced their voices when addressing you directly, their expressed words dripping with saccharine sweetness. Meanwhile, behind those carefully constructed masks, character assassination was their active pastime, a game they played with cruel glee. Pure fakeness embodied, betrayal personified, envy made flesh. What you possessed naturally, the innate qualities that made you shine, couldn't be achieved through their manipulative methods. So, destruction became the alternative strategy, the scorched earth approach. But what escaped their calculations, what they failed to account for in their meticulously crafted plan? Your truth carries more weight than their manufactured lies. Your light burns brighter than their assembled darkness. Your spirit receives unwavering protection from forces far beyond human comprehension, an unseen shield deflecting their petty attacks. All that careful plotting, all that detailed coordination, all that strategic scheming. Watch it backfire with spectacular, almost operatic intensity. Consequences are already landing on the architects of this mess, the puppet masters pulling the strings. Someone specific occupies a particularly painful space in this unfolding drama. Someone who was supposed to stand beside you, a steadfast ally in a turbulent world. Someone who should have offered unwavering protection when the attacks came, a shield against the storm. Someone who carried the mantle of being your person, your confidant, your rock. But seduction happened. Persuasion worked its insidious magic. The web of lies caught them in its sticky threads, O chosen one, ensnaring them in a trap of their own making. This betrayal cuts with a unique and agonizing sharpness, a wound that festers and refuses to heal. Manipulation found fertile ground in this person's mind, a receptive audience for its venomous whispers. The poison was consumed willingly, a bitter draught swallowed without hesitation. The false narrative, the carefully constructed fiction, became their accepted truth, the lens through which they viewed your actions. Instead of defending what their own experiences had shown them about your character, instead of trusting the bond you shared, they chose to believe the worst, giving credence to the lies and rumors swirling around them. Commitment to the wrong side was made, a conscious decision to align themselves with the enemy. Now, regret drowns them in relentless waves that never recede, a constant torment that offers no respite. Their escapades seemed justified at the time, a righteous crusade against a perceived injustice. Liberation was the illusion, a phantom promise leading them astray, teaching you a lesson felt righteous in their distorted perception, a misguided attempt to correct your supposed flaws. Getting revenge appeared deserved, a twisted sense of retribution fueling their actions. Proving some petty, twisted point gave them temporary satisfaction, a fleeting moment of triumph that quickly dissolved into ashes. Reckless movement defined their actions, each step taken with a callous disregard for the consequences. Decisions were made that revealed their true, authentic character when the pressure was applied, their carefully constructed facade crumbling under the weight of their choices. Bridges were burned with flames that cannot be extinguished, severing ties that once seemed unbreakable. Reality crashed through their carefully constructed delusions, shattering their illusions into a million pieces. Eventually, your actual innocence became undeniable, a truth so glaringly obvious that it could no longer be ignored. Everything you expressed, every warning you offered, turned out to be factual truth, a testament to your unwavering honesty. The people who turned them against you, the masterminds behind the operation, revealed themselves as the real manipulators, their masks slipping to reveal their true, malevolent nature. Awakening came with the sickening recognition that something genuine, something precious, was destroyed for something completely fabricated, a fool's bargain made in the dead of night. Real love, a bond forged in trust and mutual respect, was traded for toxic drama, a constant cycle of conflict and negativity. Peace, a sanctuary of calm and tranquility, was exchanged for chaos, a storm of emotions that threatened to consume everything in its path. Truth was sacrificed for lies, a betrayal of the very foundation upon which their relationship was built. No path leads back from that destruction. No bridge can be rebuilt across that chasm of betrayal. Concentration has become an impossible feat for this person, their mind a whirlwind of guilt and regret. Proper functioning has slipped away, their ability to perform even the simplest tasks compromised by the weight of their actions. Everywhere their attention turns, evidence of your innocence confronts them, a constant reminder of their terrible mistake. Proof that your truth was spoken all along, a damning indictment of their own gullibility. The overwhelming nature of this realization destroys them from within, a slow and agonizing process of self-destruction. Knowledge of the mistake is inescapable, a constant companion that haunts their waking hours. Knowledge of choosing wrong torments every moment, a relentless reminder of their poor judgment. Knowledge of betraying someone genuine for toxic people torments them constantly, a deep-seated shame that festers and refuses to heal. Your ascension to a higher purpose is visible from their distant vantage point, a beacon of hope in their darkening world. Rising is what you're doing, each step forward fueled by your unwavering spirit. Glowing is how you appear, radiating a strength and resilience that defies their attempts to dim your light. Thriving is your current state, a testament to your ability to overcome adversity. Genuine people surround your space, offering support and encouragement, while toxic individuals trap theirs, feeding on their negativity and perpetuating their misery. Peace defines your existence, a sense of calm and tranquility that permeates every aspect of your life, while constant drama defines theirs, a chaotic whirlwind of conflict and negativity. Confirmation arrives daily that something irreplaceable was lost, a treasure carelessly discarded. Something that will never be encountered again was destroyed, a bond shattered beyond repair. A diamond was given up for a worthless rock, a trade that will haunt them for the rest of their days. And now that rock sits heavy in their possession, a constant reminder of their foolish choice. The masterminds behind this insidious operation believed themselves untouchable, immune to the consequences of their actions. Award-worthy performances were their specialty, a talent honed over years of manipulation and deceit, pretending to need rescue, acting victimized, fishing for sympathy and sensitive information. These were the tools of their trade, the weapons they wielded with deadly precision. Playing wounded when inflicting wounds defined their actual role, a twisted form of projection that allowed them to deflect blame and maintain their carefully constructed facade. Convincing portrayals made people believe every false word, their lies woven into a tapestry of deception that ensnared even the most discerning minds. But building houses on lies guarantees eventual collapse, a fundamental truth they chose to ignore. Poisoning perceptions without getting caught proves impossible long-term, a matter of when, not if, their scheme would unravel. Pretending spirituality while operating in darkness eventually brings light-based exposure, a cosmic law they could not escape. And right now, O Chosen One, exposure manifests in real time before everyone's eyes, a spectacle of poetic justice. If this resonates with your inner knowing, hype this video to help fellow Chosen Ones find their way here, to offer them solace and guidance in their own journeys. What I call the unraveling is consuming them currently, tearing apart their carefully constructed world. Stories contradict each other openly, revealing the cracks in their facade. Timelines refuse to match up properly, exposing the inconsistencies in their narrative. Evidence fails to support their claims, highlighting the fabrication at the heart of their scheme. People who once believed everything now ask questions, their blind faith replaced by healthy skepticism. Real questions, hard questions, questions without good answers because lies formed the foundation, a fragile structure built on a crumbling base. Watch how control slips from their grasp, each attempt to regain it only exacerbating the situation. Backtracking on previous statements becomes necessary, a desperate attempt to rewrite history and mitigate the damage. Softening accusations becomes the new strategy, a calculated shift in tone designed to appease those who are beginning to question their motives. Claims of misunderstanding or context removal emerge conveniently, excuses offered to deflect blame and obscure the truth. Sudden uncertainty replaces former absolute certainty, their confident pronouncements replaced by hesitant stammering. Confidence evaporates visibly, their swaggering bravado replaced by a palpable sense of fear. Boldness disappears noticeably, their daring pronouncements replaced by cautious whispers. Certainty crumbles publicly, their unwavering convictions replaced by crippling doubt. Panic sets in because knowledge of what's coming haunts them, a premonition of their impending doom. When the full truth emerges, reputation is finished, their carefully constructed image shattered beyond repair. Credibility is destroyed, their ability to influence others eroded. Influence ends, their power base crumbling beneath their feet. All those people convinced to turn against you, those same people will turn on the manipulators with doubled intensity, their righteous anger unleashed upon those who deceived them. All that gathered support dissolution like sugar in hot water approaches, their alliances dissolving as quickly as they formed. All that perceived power vanishing like smoke in wind becomes reality, their illusions of control evaporating into thin air. Damage control mode activates desperately, a frantic attempt to salvage what remains of their ruined reputation. History rewriting attempts are made frantically, a desperate effort to reshape the past and present themselves in a more favorable light. Narrative softening becomes the mission, a calculated strategy to minimize the impact of the impending exposure. Overtime work to maintain illusions exhausts them, but timing ran out already, their efforts futile in the face of the inevitable. Cracks show everywhere, fissures appearing in their carefully constructed facade. Foundations crumble visibly, their house of cards collapsing under its own weight. Everyone starts seeing what you saw from the beginning, the truth that was hidden in plain sight. The problem was never you, your intuition was right all along. The problem was always them, their own inner demons and insecurities projected onto you. When liars face exposure, when manipulators lose control, when performers realize the show is ending, danger emerges, a volatile and unpredictable force. Right now, someone makes serious threats to keep the truth buried, desperate measures taken to silence dissenting voices. A person in their inner circle knows everything, privy to the darkest secrets and most shameful acts. This person attended those secret meetings, a fly on the wall witnessing the hatching of their malicious schemes. This person helped coordinate attacks, actively participating in the campaign to undermine your reputation. This person participated in spreading poison, willingly disseminating lies and rumors to further the manipulator's agenda. But conscience bothers them now, a nagging feeling of guilt and remorse that refuses to be silenced. Or perhaps betrayal by the masterminds themselves changed their perspective, a realization that they were merely pawns in a larger game. Either way, this person threatens to expose everything, ready to blow the whistle on the entire operation. Promises to go public with group chats, coordination details, lies, manipulation tactics. The threat hangs heavy in the air, a Damoclean sword poised to fall. Readiness to show receipts that will demolish the entire operation, irrefutable evidence that will expose their deception to the world. The main manipulator is losing their mind completely, their carefully constructed facade crumbling under the weight of their fear. Doing whatever it takes to keep this person quiet, resorting to desperate measures to silence the truth. Offering things never offered before, promises made with no intention of keeping them. Empty words designed to placate and delay the inevitable. Using whatever leverage can be found, exploiting vulnerabilities and preying on weaknesses. Kissing up to someone they despise, feigning affection for someone they secretly loathe. Pretending to reconcile with someone they hate, a hollow gesture devoid of genuine remorse. Acting concerned when terror is the real emotion, a desperate attempt to mask their inner turmoil. Putting on fake apologies without genuine remorse backing them. Empty words that ring hollow and false. Feeling bad about getting caught, not about what was done to you, their regret stemming from self-preservation, not empathy. Watch their current movements carefully. Observe their actions with a discerning eye. Sweet-talking the threatening person, showering them with false praise and empty promises. Attempting seduction into silence, using charm and flattery to manipulate them into compliance. Offering body resources, whatever buys time, a desperate attempt to delay the inevitable exposure. Playing nice with toxic people because those toxic people hold destruction power. Aligning themselves with dangerous individuals in a bid to maintain control. A desperate desire to ghost this person exists, a longing to simply disappear and escape the consequences of their actions. But impossibility prevents it, their fate inextricably linked to the person they sought to silence. This person holds exposure keys, the power to unlock the truth and shatter their carefully constructed world. Major blackmail energy saturates the situation, a volatile cocktail of fear, desperation, and resentment. Someone threatening the truth unless demands are met, holding the manipulators hostage to their own secrets. Someone holding information hostage, wielding knowledge as a weapon. The mastermind scrambles, trying to control situations spiraling beyond their grasp. A desperate attempt to regain control of a narrative that is rapidly unraveling. Meanwhile, you remain peaceful, untouched by the chaos and turmoil. No scrambling on your part. No panic consuming you, your inner peace a shield against their petty attacks. No threats or desperate deals needed. Your strength residing in your unwavering truth. You ascend while dissent claims them, your path illuminated by divine guidance. You thrive while bare survival defines them, your resilience a testament to your unwavering spirit. Peace characterizes you while turmoil characterizes them. A stark contrast that highlights the difference between living in truth and living in lies. See the difference? Operating in truth versus operating in lies produces these contrasting results, a fundamental principle of the universe. Truth brings peace, a sense of calm and tranquility that permeates every aspect of your life. Lies bring chaos, a constant cycle of conflict and negativity that consumes everything in its path. Their chaos approaches critical mass rapidly, threatening to engulf them entirely. Chosen one, your discernment maintained accuracy consistently, a testament to your unwavering intuition. That feeling you experienced, that energy you detected, that sense of wrongness. Correctness defined all of it, your instincts guiding you through the darkness. Someone acted recklessly, their actions driven by impulsivity and a disregard for the consequences. Someone's behavior spiraled out of control, their carefully constructed facade crumbling under the weight of their choices. Someone created distance while pretending normally, a deceptive tactic designed to conceal their true intentions. Someone moved messily every time your presence wasn't around them, their actions betraying their true feelings. Trust couldn't be extended to this person, their behavior raising red flags and triggering your intuition. You recognized patterns developing, saw the signs of their deception. You saw behavior when observation wasn't assumed, caught glimpses of their true character when they thought they were unobserved. You picked up on poisoned thoughts about you infiltrating their mind, sensed the negativity lurking beneath the surface. Wisdom to acknowledge reality instead of making excuses showed your strength, your ability to confront the truth, even when it was painful. You saw situations for what they were, even when seeing hurt deeply, your unwavering honesty guiding your actions. This person felt permission to move recklessly with you because enemy narratives were purchased completely, their minds poisoned by lies and misinformation. Justification for betrayal seemed real to them, a distorted sense of righteousness fueling their actions. Teaching lessons or getting revenge or proving points appeared righteous, twisted rationalizations used to justify their behavior. Entitlement to hurt you existed because villain roles were assigned to you in their distorted story, a convenient way to deflect blame and absolve themselves of guilt. But reality sets in now, the harsh light of truth exposing their deception. Truth surfaces currently, undeniable and inescapable. Facts undergo examination, scrutinized under the magnifying glass of public opinion. Presently realization dawns that being played was their experience, a painful acknowledgement of their own gullibility. Being manipulated was their reality, puppets on strings controlled by unseen forces. Being used as pawns in someone else's game was their role, sacrificial lambs offered to appease the manipulator's insatiable hunger for power. Destroying something real for something completely fake was their action, a betrayal of their own values and principles. Guilt overwhelms, a crushing weight that threatens to suffocate them. Now regret suffocates constantly, a relentless torment that offers no respite. Shame proves unbearable, a deep-seated feeling of inadequacy and self-loathing. Denial becomes impossible, the evidence too overwhelming to ignore. Excuses can't be manufactured, their attempts to justify their actions falling flat. Blame can't be placed elsewhere, the responsibility for their choices resting squarely on their shoulders. Knowledge of being wrong is certain, a painful realization of their own poor judgment. Knowledge of choosing wrong is clear, a stark acknowledgement of their betrayal. Knowledge of moving wrong is undeniable, a stark reminder of their reckless actions. Knowledge that no path back exists is torturous, a devastating realization of the irreparable damage they have caused. Your ascension to a higher purpose becomes visible from their distance, a beacon of hope in their darkening world. Rising is your activity, each step forward fueled by your unwavering spirit. Glowing is your appearance, radiating a strength and resilience that defies their attempts to dim your light. Thriving is your state, a testament to your ability to overcome adversity. Genuine people surround you while toxic people trap them, the contrasting environments a reflection of their choices. Peace is yours while constant drama is theirs, a stark reminder of the turmoil they have created. Confirmation comes repeatedly that something irreplaceable was lost, a treasure carelessly discarded. Something that will never be found again was destroyed, a bond shattered beyond repair. Diamonds were traded for rocks, and now those worthless rocks sit heavy in hands, a constant reminder of their foolish choice. Nothing you did wrong motivated this attack. There was no flaw in your character that triggered their malice. Who you are created the threat, your very essence a challenge to their carefully constructed facade. Your existence exposed their darkness, highlighted their inadequacies and insecurities. Your peace highlighted their chaos, the contrast between your tranquility, and their turmoil a constant reminder of their inner unrest. Your truth contradicted their lies, their carefully constructed narrative crumbling in the face of your unwavering honesty. Your genuine nature made their fake performances obvious, revealing their deception to the world. Doing nothing to these people was necessary, no retaliation required on your part. Just being yourself proved threatening enough, your very existence a challenge to their carefully constructed world. Your energy couldn't be tolerated, your vibrant spirit a constant reminder of their own inner emptiness. Your success couldn't be handled, your achievements a source of envy and resentment. Your peace couldn't be accepted, your tranquility a stark contrast to their own inner turmoil. Your happiness couldn't be borne, their attempts to extinguish your joy ultimately failing. Your growth couldn't be celebrated, your progress a constant reminder of their own stagnation. So destruction attempts were made, desperate measures taken to silence your light. Coordinated attacks were necessary because lone individuals proved insufficient, their combined efforts required to even attempt to bring you down. Multiple people were needed, their individual weaknesses amplified by the collective malice of the group. Coordination was required, their efforts carefully orchestrated to maximize the damage. Planning was essential, their schemes meticulously crafted to undermine your reputation and isolate you from your support network. Strategy became mandatory, their attacks carefully calculated to exploit your vulnerabilities. Because your power is that strong, your influence undeniable. Your protection is that real, a shield of divine energy deflecting their petty attacks. Your strength is that formidable, a force to be reckoned with. Think about the implications, the gravity of the situation. Enemy alliances had to form just to attempt bringing you down, their individual efforts proving insufficient. Secret meetings were required, their clandestine gatherings a testament to the depth of their conspiracy. Strategy sessions became necessary, their schemes meticulously planned to maximize the damage. Combined efforts were mandatory, their individual weaknesses amplified by the collective malice of the group. Pulled resources became essential, their combined resources required to even attempt to undermine your progress. Coordinated attacks had to be launched, their efforts carefully orchestrated to exploit your vulnerabilities. And even with all that coordination, failure resulted, their carefully constructed plans ultimately unraveling. Even with all that planning, breaking you proved impossible, your spirit too strong to be defeated. Even with all that effort, dimming your light couldn't be achieved, your radiance shining brighter than ever before. Power belongs to you, an inherent strength that cannot be taken away. Not weakness, not vulnerability, not fragility, power, strength, divine protection operating on levels beyond human comprehension. A shield of energy that surrounds and protects you. You're not just anyone, O chosen one, you're part of something bigger than yourself. Coverage comes from forces invisible to human eyes, an unseen network of support and protection. Protection flows from energy inaccessible to ordinary people, a divine source of strength that defies manipulation. Defense arrives from powers they can't fight, a spiritual army that stands ready to defend you. Now lessons are being learned the hard way, the consequences of their actions unfolding before their very eyes. While your downfall was being plotted, your elevation was being orchestrated by the universe, a cosmic plan designed to bring you to your highest potential. While lies about you were spreading, truth about them was being distributed, their own secrets exposed to the light. While your reputation was targeted for poisoning, your path was being purified, your journey cleansed of negativity and negativity. While attempts to block your blessings were made, their access to you was being blocked, preventing them from further harming you. Divine justice doesn't play games. It is a force of nature that cannot be manipulated or controlled. Spiritual laws don't bend. They are immutable principles that govern the universe. Cosmic balance doesn't fail. It is a fundamental force that ensures that all actions have consequences. Fighting these battles personally is unnecessary. Your strength lies in surrendering to the divine. Defending yourself is not required. Your innocence will speak for itself. Proving innocence is not your responsibility. The truth will emerge on its own. Exposing anyone is not your job. Your path lies in forgiveness and compassion. Seeking revenge is not your path. Your purpose is to rise above the negativity and embrace your divine potential. Your only requirement is continuing to be yourself, your authentic self shining brightly for the world to see. Keep walking in truth. Let your words and actions be guided by honesty and integrity. Keep shining light. Illuminate the darkness with your vibrant spirit. Keep maintaining peace. Cultivate inner tranquility and radiate it outwards. The universe handles everything else, surrendering to the divine plan and trusting that all will be well. But let's go deeper into why your power terrified them so completely. Let's delve into the source of their fear. See, chosen one, you carry something they can never possess through manipulation or coordination, an inherent quality that sets you apart. Authenticity, that word gets thrown around casually, but in your case it's weaponized truth, a force that cannot be denied. Every interaction you have is genuine, your sincerity radiating outwards. Every word you speak carries weight because dishonesty doesn't live in your mouth. Your words imbued with honesty and integrity. Every move you make comes from a place of integrity that they can't comprehend, your actions guided by your unwavering moral compass. This authenticity is what made you dangerous to their operation, a threat to their carefully constructed world of lies. Lies require everyone in the room to participate in the delusion, a fragile agreement that can be shattered by a single voice of truth. But you walked in, and just by existing in your truth, you disrupted the entire frequency, your presence a jarring note in their carefully orchestrated symphony of deception. You didn't even have to call out the lies directly. Your mere presence was enough to expose them. Like light entering a dark room doesn't have to announce itself. It simply is, a force that dispels the shadows. And darkness has no choice but to retreat, its power diminished in the face of the light. They felt this disruption viscerally, a physical reaction to your authenticity. When you were around, their masks felt heavier, their carefully constructed facades more difficult to maintain. Their performances felt more exhausting, the effort required to maintain their deception taking its toll. Their lies felt more obvious, their carefully crafted narrative crumbling in your presence. You became a mirror they couldn't avoid, reflecting back all the fakeness they worked so hard to hide, forcing them to confront their own deception. And instead of looking in that mirror and choosing to change, they decided to try and shatter it, to destroy the reflection rather than face what it revealed about them, a desperate attempt to avoid self-reflection. That's why the threats intensified as your light grew brighter, their desperation increasing in proportion to your power. The more you stepped into your power, the more desperate their attempts became, their attacks becoming increasingly frantic. The more you embraced your truth, the more violent their reactions grew, their attempts to silence you becoming more aggressive. The more you ascended, the more they scrambled to pull you down because your elevation wasn't just about you rising, it was about their darkness being exposed in the process, their carefully constructed world threatened by your light. Your success proved their lies were just that, lies, a devastating blow to their credibility. Consider what it means that they're now threatening people to stay quiet, the ultimate admission of guilt. That level of desperation reveals how much power you actually hold, the fear of exposure driving them to extreme measures. If you were truly the villain they painted you as, no threats would be necessary. The truth would defend itself. But because their entire narrative was fiction, force becomes necessary, a desperate attempt to silence dissent. Intimidation becomes the tool, a means of controlling those who threaten to expose their deception. Threats become the weapon, wielded with the intent to silence and control. Because without those elements, their story collapses completely, their carefully constructed world crumbling into dust. And watch how the universe responds to these threats, its forces aligning to protect you. Every threat made creates more karma, each act of aggression adding to their karmic debt. Every intimidation attempt generates more consequences, their attempts to control the situation only exacerbating their problems. Every desperate move to silence truth just amplifies it louder, their efforts to suppress the truth only amplifying its reach. They're literally creating the very exposure they're trying to prevent, their actions inadvertently contributing to their own downfall. Every action taken to avoid being revealed just reveals more, a self-defeating cycle of deception and exposure. It's like watching someone dig frantically while standing in a hole, Not realizing every shovel of dirt just makes the hole deeper, their efforts to escape only entrenching them further. Your power is also in your restraint, the ability to control your emotions and choose your battles. You could expose them yourself. You have the power to reveal their secrets and shatter their carefully constructed world. You probably have receipts, evidence of their deception and manipulation. You likely have evidence, documentation of their actions that would prove their guilt. You certainly have your own story to tell, your perspective on the events that transpired. But you don't need to scream your truth. You don't need to shout your story from the rooftops. You don't need to blast them publicly. You don't need to engage in public shaming. You don't need to gather your own army of supporters to fight your battles. You don't need to seek revenge or retribution. Why? Because truth doesn't require force. It doesn't need to be imposed on others. Truth doesn't need amplification. It is self-evident and undeniable. Truth doesn't beg for belief. It is its own validation. Truth just exists, a fundamental force that cannot be denied. And eventually, inevitably, absolutely, truth surfaces on its own. It always comes to light in the end. This restraint they mistake for weakness. They underestimate your power because you don't engage in their petty games. They think your silence means you have nothing to say. They assume that your lack of action is a sign of weakness. They think your peace means you don't know what's happening. They underestimate your awareness and discernment. They think your continued elevation means you're oblivious to their threats and schemes. They believe you are unaware of their machinations. But Chosen One, your silence is strategic, a calculated move to allow the universe to work on your behalf. Your peace is powerful, a source of strength that sustains you through the storm. Your elevation is evidence, a testament to the divine forces working in your favor. You're not quiet because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to let the universe fight for you. You trust in the power of divine justice. And that's the power that truly terrifies them, your unwavering faith in a higher power. Someone who doesn't need to defend themselves because defense comes from higher sources. Someone who trusts in the protection of the divine. Someone who doesn't need to prove themselves because proof manifests through divine timing. Someone who trusts in the unfolding of the universe. Someone who doesn't need to fight back because victory is already guaranteed. Someone who knows that their triumph is inevitable. That's a level of power they can't touch, can't manipulate, can't defeat, and they know it. They recognize the limitations of their own power. Now, let me put you onto something real, something that can help you navigate this journey. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation, and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I was tired of seeing good people suffer while the wicked prospered. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose, to help you align with your true destiny. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. You can activate your power without exerting any effort. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. It transforms their negativity into fuel for your ascension. This isn't another meditation app. It's a tool for transformation. It's declassified consciousness technology, cutting-edge tools to reprogram your mind. The same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition, and scarcity re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative upgraded operating framework, turning their weapons against them. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose, tailored to your unique path and potential. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. A passive process that yields profound results. The collective upgrade is underway, a shift in consciousness that is transforming the world. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Transform their negativity into a source of power. Link in the description. Watch what happens when someone tries to dim a light that's connected to the source of all light, a futile attempt to extinguish the divine. The source just shines brighter through that person, their efforts to suppress the light only amplifying its radiance. Every attack meant to diminish you just illuminates you more, their attempts to harm you only making you stronger. Every lie told about you just makes your truth more obvious, their deception revealing the truth in stark contrast. Every attempt to isolate you just attracts more genuine connections your way, their efforts to isolate you only bringing you closer to those who truly appreciate you. The universe has a way of turning every weapon formed against you into a tool for your elevation, transforming their negativity into a source of power. This is why their panic is so intense right now, their fear growing exponentially. Not just because exposure is coming, but because they're realizing they never stood a chance from the very beginning. They were doomed to fail from the start. This was a fight they couldn't win. Your victory was always assured. You were always going to rise, your destiny predetermined by divine forces. They were always going to fall, their path leading to inevitable destruction. Your truth was always going to emerge. It is an unstoppable force of nature. Their lies were always going to crumble. They are built on a foundation of sand. Your light was always going to shine. It is an eternal flame that cannot be extinguished. Their darkness was always going to be exposed. It cannot hide from the light of truth. This was never a fair fight because they brought human manipulation to a spiritual war. They tried to use earthly tactics against divine forces. And spirit always wins. The divine always triumphs over the mortal. Karma doesn't just return. It is a force that amplifies every action. Multiplication happens, the consequences of their actions multiplied exponentially. Amplification occurs, their negativity amplified and reflected back upon them. Interest accumulates, their karmic debt growing with each passing day. Everything attempted against you now happens to them, the tables turning in a dramatic reversal of fortune. But worse, every trap set now catches them, their own snares ensnaring them. Every pit dug now becomes their grave, their own creations becoming their downfall. Every weapon formed now backfires spectacularly, their attempts to harm you turning against them. Rejection was desired for you. They wanted you to experience the pain of exclusion. Rejection by people they thought loyal now happens to them, their alliances crumbling as their true nature is revealed. Isolation was intended for you. They sought to isolate you from your support network. Isolation that feels maddening now defines their experience, a sense of loneliness and despair consuming them. Breaking you was the goal, their attempts to shatter your spirit. Breaking down mentally and emotionally now characterizes them, their own mental and emotional health deteriorating rapidly. Financial struggle was wished for you. They hoped to see you suffer financially. Money slipping mysteriously through fingers now plagues them, their financial stability eroding. Relationship drama was hoped for you. They sought to create chaos in your relationships. Toxic situations they can't escape now trap them, their own relationships becoming sources of pain and conflict. Coincidence doesn't explain this, the pattern's too consistent to be random. Consequence does, their actions bearing fruit in the form of negative consequences. Coming against protected people produces these results. Those who attack the chosen face the wrath of the universe. Plotting against chosen ones yields these outcomes, their schemes backfiring in spectacular fashion. Attempting destruction of anointed individuals guarantees these consequences. Those who seek to harm the divinely protected will face the consequences of their actions. The universe doesn't just defend chosen ones, it actively removes threats. Threat removal happens, those who pose a danger to the chosen are eliminated from their lives. Enemy blocking occurs, barriers erected to prevent further harm. Door closing manifests, opportunities and paths that were once open now shut down. Supporter transformation into critics takes place. Those who once supported them now turn against them. Platform transformation into prisons happens, their sources of influence becoming sources of confinement. Watch what's happening to reputation currently, the crumbling of their carefully constructed image. Same people convinced to turn against you now question the manipulators, their eyes open to the truth. Same people who supported false narratives now demand proof, their blind faith replaced by healthy skepticism. Same people who believe performances now see through acts, their deception no longer effective. Credibility evaporates, their influence waning. Influence disappears, their power base eroding. Power dissolves, their control slipping away. Understanding will come to them eventually. They will eventually realize the error of their ways. You don't touch chosen ones. You don't dare to harm those protected by divine forces. You don't plot against protected people. Their influence will be repaid in kind. You don't try destroying someone operating in divine purpose. Your actions will be met with resistance from the universe itself. Because doing so means not just fighting that person, you're not just battling an individual. Fighting the forces covering them becomes reality, you're challenging the very fabric of the universe. Battling the energy protecting them becomes necessary, you're attempting to overcome a divine shield. Opposing the power elevating them becomes required, you're fighting against the forces of destiny. And that fight victory is impossible ever, you cannot defeat the divine. The mastermind who orchestrated this is experiencing what I call soul unraveling, their carefully constructed world falling apart at the seams. Sleep comes poorly, their mind racing with thoughts and regrets. Eating happens with stomach turning, their anxiety manifesting physically. Focus on anything proves impossible because racing minds keep returning to their actions. They cannot escape the consequences of their choices. Money loss happens, their financial stability eroding. Support loss occurs, their alliances crumbling. Credibility loss manifests, their reputation tarnished. Peace loss defines existence, their lives consumed by turmoil. Everything attempted against you now leaves them, the negativity returning to its source. When unpopularity rears its head. When someone chooses you, unequivocally and without reservation. The choice has been made, the die is cast, and now they must live with the consequences. They chose chaos over tranquility, embraced drama instead of stability, preferred falsehoods to the unwavering truth, and sought out toxic individuals over genuine, heartfelt connections. They put their faith in strangers, dismissing the wisdom of someone who truly knew them. A catastrophic, irreversible error in judgment. Now they are forced to witness your ascent, unable to participate in your triumphs. They must observe your flourishing in their absence, compelled to acknowledge that your success required no input from them. The realization dawns that your growth and improvement occurred independently of their negative energy. This realization in itself becomes their punishment. This knowledge their consequence. This truth their ultimate justice. It's not merely the loss of your presence, but the stark recognition of their own fundamental weakness. Observe the chosen one. When someone allows themselves to be manipulated against you, when they permit poison to seep into their minds, when they choose to believe lies over their own lived experiences, they reveal a profound flaw in their character. And now, they must confront this uncomfortable truth about themselves. This person must wake up each day with the gnawing awareness of their weakness, their lack of discernment, their susceptibility to being played, their betrayal of someone genuine for the sake of strangers with hidden agendas. That's a harsh reality to face in the mirror, a brutal truth to carry in their chest, a heavy burden to drag through the monotony of daily life. And there is no escaping this reality, for the evidence surrounds them at every turn. They see the toxic individuals they chose to believe, now revealing their true, malevolent colors in their own lives. The drama never ceases, the manipulation never ends, the chaos never subsides, for toxic people cannot change their nature. They merely shift their focus to new targets. And now, this person who betrayed you is trapped within the reality of their own poor choice. Each day brings fresh evidence that they chose the wrong side. Meanwhile, evidence of your peace and prosperity is everywhere they look. Your social media showcases your growth. Your energy radiates elevation. Your life exemplifies blessings. The contrast is not merely unfavorable. It's tearing them apart from the inside out. They are drowning in a sea of drama while you swim effortlessly in an ocean of peace. They struggle amidst chaos while you thrive in a world of order. They are trapped in a web of toxicity while you are embraced by genuine love. The comparison is not just unflattering. It's utterly destructive. What intensifies their torment is witnessing the opportunities that come your way, opportunities that could have been shared experiences. Seeing you reach new heights that they could have celebrated alongside you. Witnessing the blessings that flow into your life, blessings they could have been a part of. Observing the success that manifests for you, success they could have supported, but instead, they chose to align themselves with your enemies. And now, all they can do is watch from a distance as everything unfolds without them. The phone remains silent now. No random texts checking in. No voice notes sharing the minutiae of daily life. No video calls about nothing and everything. That connection was severed by their own deliberate choice. That access was revoked by their decision. That intimacy was destroyed by their actions. And there is no possibility of retrieving it. Not because you are being cruel, but because trust, once shattered so completely, can never be fully restored. Some bridges, once burned to the ground, cannot be reconstructed. They wonder if you ever think about them. They wonder if you miss them. They wonder if forgiveness is possible. They wonder if time will eventually heal this deep wound. But what they fail to grasp is that you are not idly dwelling on them. You process the experience, healed from the hurt, learned from the lessons, and grew beyond the limitations. You are not stuck in the past as they are. You are thriving in the present and actively building your future. They are a closed chapter in a book that is still being written, and the current chapters are far more compelling and captivating. Perhaps the most painful realization for them is that you are genuinely better off without their toxic energy polluting your space. Not because you are being petty or trying to prove a point, but because toxic associations, even those with people we once cared about, drain the energy that could be channeled towards growth and elevation. Your life improved in their absence. Your peace deepened when their chaos departed. Your clarity sharpened when their confusion was removed. Your path straightened when their distractions were eliminated. The person at the center of this entire situation is currently experiencing a complete and utter meltdown. Engaging in actions they never thought possible, uttering words they swore they would never say, compromising their values in ways that would have disgusted them before. All in a desperate attempt to keep the truth buried, to avoid exposure, to maintain control over narratives that have already slipped from their grasp. False apologies are offered to people they despise. They feign reconciliation with people they cannot stand. They sweet-talk toxic individuals just to maintain their silence. They offer their body, money, resources, whatever it takes to buy more time, as their current strategy. Negotiations are underway with someone who is threatening to expose everything, someone who attended secret meetings, someone who possesses all the details of the coordination, all the lies, all the manipulation tactics. This threatening individual has them cornered. The knowledge of this is crystal clear. So they play nice, act concerned, and pretend to care. They offer whatever it takes to maintain the illusions for a little longer. But this entire situation is like a house of cards, vulnerable to the slightest breeze. One strong gust of wind could cause its complete collapse. One person breaking ranks could lead to total disintegration. They are sitting on time bombs with audible ticking, feeling the countdown, knowing that explosions are imminent and impossible to prevent. But manipulators do not operate in such a way. Accountability is never taken. Fault is never admitted. Wrongdoing is never acknowledged. Instead, they double down, continue the gaslighting, deflect blame, and persist in playing the victim, even when their roles as perpetrators are glaringly obvious. Right now, every card in their deck is being played in a frantic attempt to avoid exposure. The irony is that all this desperate effort only makes the exposure worse. All this frantic manipulation only adds to the evidence. All these fake apologies and desperate deals only confirm their guilt. More karma is created with every move. The holes they dig get deeper with every action. The inevitable consequences worsen with every decision. And your involvement in this chaos is absolutely zero. No scrambling on your part. No panic consuming you. No desperate deals being made. No begging anyone to stay silent. You remain peaceful, ascending to higher levels while they drown in their own self-created poison. That is the stark difference between operating in truth versus operating in lies. The people who came against you will never forget this. How lies crumbled under the weight of truth. How manipulation backfired spectacularly. How coordination failed despite their best efforts. How they panicked and threatened and desperately tried to avoid exposure. How they watched you ascend while they descended into the abyss. These memories will serve as warnings to anyone else who contemplates coming against chosen ones. You do not touch chosen ones. You do not plot against protected people. You do not attempt to destroy someone who is operating in divine purpose, because doing so means not just fighting that individual. It means fighting the universe itself. It becomes necessary to battle cosmic forces, to oppose divine energy. And that fight is always lost, every single time without exception. So, chosen one, As this chapter closes and new ones begin, walk forward with your head held high. Walk forward knowing that everything that happened has prepared you for where you are going. Walk forward understanding that you have passed a test that not everyone can pass. Walk forward recognizing that you are protected by forces greater than any enemy you will ever face. Walk forward confident that your victory is not just possible, it is inevitable, guaranteed, already done. The person who is going crazy right now, threatening people, doing everything they can to avoid exposure, that is no longer your concern. That is between them and the universe, between them and divine justice, between them and karma. Your concern is your continued ascension, your elevated purpose, your expanded impact, your increased blessings, your greater manifestations. Because this experience was not the end of your story, merely one chapter, one test, one trial, one transformation, and you passed. You conquered. You transcended. Now you are ready for what comes next. More power, more purpose, more impact, more blessings, more success, more elevation, more manifestation, more of everything the universe has been preparing you for. Your enemies wanted to bury you. They did not realize you were a seed. Now look at you growing, blooming, thriving, ascending, winning. This is what happens when you stay rooted in truth, when you maintain integrity, when you protect the light, when you trust the process, when you believe in your purpose, when you recognize your own power. You are unstoppable. You are unbreakable. You are undeniable. You are chosen. And that means everything. Protection when attacked, vindication when accused, elevation when opposed, victory when challenged, triumph when tested, restoration when damaged, justice when wronged. So, rest tonight in your victory. Wake tomorrow ready for more. Because your story continues to be written. Your purpose continues to unfold. Your destiny continues to manifest. The best chapters are still ahead. The greatest victories are still coming. The highest elevations are still waiting. The most powerful manifestations are still forming. Now go forth and live like the chosen one you are. Walk in your power. Operate in your purpose. Shine in your light. Stand in your truth. Thrive in your peace. Dominate in your space. Win in your lane. Conquer in your calling. Because that is what chosen ones do. We do not just survive, we thrive. We do not just endure, we conquer. We do not just overcome, we dominate. We do not just win, we reign. Your victory was always inevitable. From the moment the attacks came against you, their defeat was sealed. From the second the coordination of attacks began, their exposure was guaranteed. From the instant the lies were spread, their truth was doomed. They never had a chance. Because you are not just anyone, you are chosen. And chosen ones always win in the end.